what made America fat? By the export and import. All right. If you actually understand how these nations have become rich because of their goods that they've sold to America. Now, if you want to make billions of dollars of your product, all you got to do is sell to America, because America is a consume-based country.
That's right.
So I don't cut you, brother. So let's say you have 1% of access to America in terms of your business, right? You'll make a killing. You'll make a lot of money. All right. So in that land, that country there, that land is going to pretty much be destroyed. And what's going to happen is the people that have become rich, they're going to result to being poor again. And then they're going to remember that. They're going to remember the amount of money they was making before. That's why it says that they shall howl. All right, they shall cry because of the destruction of Babylon, America. So let's read on, bro.
Verse 17, and it says, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company in ships.
Right, the shipmasters, like I said, import, export. Go on.
And the sailors, and as many as trade by the sea, stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning.
Right, and they saw the smoke of her burning by those missiles, which America is known as old daughter of Babylon. That's why it's known as the her. Go on.
And it says, say, what city is like unto this great city?
Right, what city is like America? And this is why at one time or another, right, a lot of people desire to go to America. People that have never even dreamed of going, they wanted to go down there. Okay? And the reason why it says so great riches have come to naught, because the nations are going to be prohibitive making money again.
Yeah.
Go on.
Because there's that movie, The Legend of 3000. I don't know if any of you brothers have seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Of the guy that was born on a ship and he played piano and all that.
Yeah.
And the opening scene of the movie, like when America was at the height of their power, at the beginning of the movie, what happened is they showed the movie basically. You're saying the story of what happens every time people are coming from other countries into America, and then they showed the town as in they showed it like the guy they were on the ship, and then there was a lot of fog around, and he says basically what always happens is they're just chilling because because those days the boats would take like maybe a couple of weeks or something, from Europe to America, and then he said the first thing somebody always says is. He said, there's always one guy that sees it first. Like they were just minding their business, and then the first thing that happens is one guy looks up, and then he sees a little piece of the Statue of Liberty, and then he gets up and then shouts, America! And then everybody starts jumping up and down and screaming, and everybody's rejoicing. Because why? They made it to America, man. That's how great America was at one point, man. It was a, let me get, I'll get it, Salakia.
Isaiah 47 and 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans.
And the reason why it's known as old version of daughter of Babylon, because America was never here. America never really went to war with a certain nation. All right, they were never really, to a certain degree, destroyed or experienced deconstruction.
Yeah, no one really mastered an army in America. They took their army out, but nobody really went there.
So that's why it's known as old version daughter of Babylon. Go on.
For thou shalt be no more called tender and delicate. Take the millstones and grind mill, uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers.
Right, what that means is also the fact that all of the dirt that America's done in order for it to be what it is to right now, that's all being exposed to the forefront. Slavery, we talk about the founding fathers, how they're Satanists.
It's a man,
and other things.
That's a man. It's a man looking back.
You know what I mean? And that kind of
the demon made it. The demon made me look back. Yeah, it's a man.
I wouldn't be surprised, man. You got no hips to it.
Yeah. I said it to myself, and as I said it to myself, just turn right back.
Well, you never really know what's out here, man. You don't know, You don't really know, man. But yeah, you read that again, brother. Recap my train of thought.
Verse 3. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen.
Right, thy shame shall be seen. And you know what's happening as well? A lot of people around the world are waking up to America's mess because of the dirt that's pretty much been hidden for so long, that they've tried to hide for so long. Now it's all coming out about the corruption of their government, how they're all Satanists, how they have an agenda, which is not for the people, but against the people of the earth. And also what's coming out is that they're setting up these psychological operations, which stands for SIA, which is short for SIA. So all of that is being exposed to the forefront to the world, and that's what that's talking about. Unbear the leg, uncover the thighs.
Like when Ahmadinejad was still the president of Iran, there was one speech he gave, and he was basically saying, look, you guys, you can't criticize me, your country was basically made out of slavery, genocide, and all of those ambassadors just got up their seat and just left.
Yeah.
Because they were getting cut.
Woo!
All of them in the line, man.
Oh, yeah, that's chemical.
Oh, you mean those chemtrails? Yeah.
But because I said that again, what you just said?
It was a speech that Ahmadinejad gave when he was still.
I remember we were talking about years ago. Yeah.
When he was, I think it was at 2011, 2012.
Something like that.
Yeah, and he gave a speech. Basically, the US were criticizing him, and he said, like, you guys can't criticize me because like your land was built off of slavery, the genocide of natives, and just wickedness basically.
Yeah.
All of the ambassadors, the American ambassadors, just got up, just left because they were getting buttered.
Yeah.
Even the French left. The European countries left. Yeah.
There we go.
Go on.
It's a Habakkuk 2.
Oh yeah, no, brother. Let him be some more now. There's some more.
So it says, I will take vengeance and I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man.
Yeah, because Yahweh Shah is coming back as an angelic force. He's not coming back to he's not coming back as he did before as a man. He's coming back as a power not to be reckoned with.
That's right.
Okay? And when he does come, that's how he's gonna shake everybody in gear. And everybody's going to understand and realize that there's a real power that actually created the heavens and the earth. But he's going to show his power by using his son. Okay? And when that happens, you're going to, like we always preach about in Great Millstone. You know, we believe when Yahweh Shah comes back, he's going to come back in a great, gigantic chariot.
That's right.
Okay? And when people see that, they're going to be stunned. They're going to be shitting bricks, as they say up north. Okay, that's what's gonna happen. You're gonna have people dying of cardiac arrest, heart attacks, all of that stuff, because they're gonna start seeing strange wonders and things that their mind, their physical, carnal mind can't even fathom. Go on, brother.
It's Habakkuk 2, verse 16, and it says, "Thou art filled with shame for glory."
Yep, thou art filled with shame and glory. Go on.
Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered.
And that's why America, the school systems, what they planning on doing is doing away with the whole slavery history. They don't want to go into that no more because why is it that they want to pretty much do away or prohibit that kind of history from the children? Because they're ashamed of it. Okay, these devils are ashamed of the things that they've done in history, so they do away with all of that, and they put a different spin, put a different narrative to it, and say, well. They just wanted to work. They just came here to work on ships. So wait a minute. So pretty much
indentured servants.
What they're basically saying is that Jake wanted to come to America, be stacked up as sardines on those ships, be lynched and be brutalized. But that's us that wanted to work, right? Right. Okay. Go on, bro.
And it said, "Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered." The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory.
And that's going to come through us ultimately. We're going to be the ones.
What the brother said earlier on about the guy that made that statement.
So everybody's waking up to this society called America. Everyone's waking up to it. That's what this is really talking about. So there's an expose going on concerning America. Go on, bro. So before America gets destroyed, before that's even set up and done, what the Lord is doing right now is he's pretty much exposing America for what it really is. All of that dirt that was tucked underneath the rug, that's all coming out. Once that's all said and done, then the war's going to take place, and that land is going to be no more. Go on.
It's Isaiah 33 and 1, and it says, "Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou was not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee.
Right. Yeah.
When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled."
Right, thou shalt be spoiled. When thou cease to spoil, in other words, stop taking over people's goods and resources and stealing lands, that's when they're going to be spoiled from there. Because America was built on spoilism. That's a word I made up, you know. America was gotten by murder, killing of mass majority of people.
Rape.
One state to another state.
Rape, rob,
Murdered.
murder, everything.
That's how that land was set up. It was set up by that. So therefore, when they cease to spoil, they're going to experience the same situation. Go on, bro.
And it says, "And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee."
The other nations are going to deal treacherously against them. And you know what's happening as well? A lot of the weaponry that America has, finding out that it's not working properly. That's what we're finding out. So we know, based on precept, based on prophecy, that it's destined to be destroyed. America is destined to be destroyed. Either way you look at it, I don't cut you, brother. Either way you look at it, because you got its allies that is going to turn up against it. And then their weapons ain't really working right, because they got old ass weapons from back in the day. Go on, bro. You finished with that?
I don't know.
You let him read this, and then I'll get at you. Go on, bro.
It's a Habakkuk 2 and 4, and it says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him,
And that's Esau. Go on.
but the just shall live by faith."
But the just shall live by faith. So who's the just? The just are those that believe in the nation of Israel, the elect. Those are the only people that's going to survive what's to come. Because you got a lot of Hebrew camps out there. Their thing is they trying to wake up all of Israel. All of Israel ain't going to get this thing. They're going to be destroyed. But you're going to have the elect of our people that's going to be delivered. Let's have 6 now. All right, 15 more minutes, man. 15 more minutes. Actually, 20 more minutes.
And it says,
I'll be easy on you brothers, man.
verse 5, and it says, "Yea also, because he transgresseth by wine, he
Yeah.
is a proud man."
Right, because he transgressed by wine, he is a proud man. What does that mean? Meaning matter of fact, brother, give me Isaiah 24. You know the one I want, how you change the ordinance. Because the wine is referring to the knowledge or philosophy. So what is he transgressing? Let's read that. If you got it, bro. You don't got it. You know where it says on how you change the ordinance? The earth is defiled because of the heavens.
Isaiah 24 and 5, and it says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinances, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore hath the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left.
And that's how Esau has transgressed by wine. So let's go back to that precept.
That philosophy.
Yeah, let him finish this, brother.
Back to Habakkuk 2 and 5, and it says, Yea also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home.
Right, neither keep it at home. And going back to the main thing that happened, which really set everything off, we're talking about 9/11. As we all know, that was a side in itself, you know. The reason why, that's why they were able to go to Iraq and Afghanistan and do what they're doing right now, because of that 9/11 scenario. So that they can also venture out into Syria, pretty much to set up the bases that they've set up around the world. Okay? So Esau says, Esau is a proud man that keepeth not at home, and his desire is as hell, and he heapeth to himself above all nations. Alright, he keep unto himself all nations. And that's why he wants to set up a one.
No pictures, man. No pictures.
No pictures.
No pictures.
I'll put you on the street representing.
I mean, you
Hebrews
could take a picture of the sign.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
You know?
I thought you want to present your word, innit, so people can hear it.
It's fine. They can come here.
No worries. So
It's alright, it's alright.
It's on YouTube. It goes on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's alright. Yeah, so read that.
And it says, Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home.
You're going.
Who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as deaf,
And is as deaf, going.
and cannot be satisfied.
Everywhere Esau goes in their the Western military goes, they bring death so that they can set up their own agenda and set up their own bases and pretty much rule over everybody. Tells you that in Malachi, the first chapter. They're the border of wickedness. So they're going to do exactly what the Most High created them to do. As we read in Habakkuk, the second chapter. Go on.
It says, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
And that's why they want to set up a one world system. That means that everybody's all together, all in together, and one people. That's what they want, which the word uni or universe means one. Okay, so they want everybody to be amalgamated together. And this is why they're pushing this PC situation, because they want people to be conditioned to accept everybody. This is why you have people that will say, well, we're all the same. Where did they get those words from the media? Because the media has an agenda to amalgamate everybody into this one world order. So let's get Genesis 11, brother. Because what Esau's doing is something that's already been done already. Okay, something that never worked, something that the Heavenly Father was never with. All right, the Most High is not with all nations getting together. All right, that's why in the ancient world you had nations that had their own portion of land, as you still have to this very day. Okay, go on, brother. Let's read that.
Genesis 11:1. And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech.
Yep.
And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east.
Finish with that. Okay, I'll tell you what, brother. If you can just hold on with that. Let's read that. I want to make a point.
And it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there.
Which is in Babylon. Go on.
And they said one to another, go to, let us make brick and burn them thoroughly. And they had brick for stone, and slime had they for mortar.
Which is talk. Go on.
And they said, go to, let us build a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven. And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole
So
earth.
the whole idea, and this was going under the edict of what's his name, Nimrod. So what he wanted to do, he wanted to amalgamate all of the nations together under one banner, right? What is it? The one world order. Go on.
And let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth.
Right.
And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower,
Yep.
which the children of men builded.
Right, which the children of men built it. In other words, the other nations. Go on, because you got three branches of men. You have the sons of men, you have the sons of the wicked, and you also have the sons of God. Go on.
And the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language.
They have all one language. Like, for example, in order for you to be a flight attendant, not a flight attendant, but a pilot, what's the language you gotta speak predominantly? You gotta speak English, because that's the superior language of today, which proves that you have a nation of people that are in power above all nations. You know, we don't live in a society where the people rule, as you know, the media would tell you. We have a democracy. There's no such thing as a democracy, which the word democracy means the people rule. The word demo means people, the word receive means to rule, which that don't exist, because all of the prime ministers were already preordained from the heads or from the banking elite to be where they're at right now. It's just that what they've done was the prime ministers are set up in this fashion where they'll set up one prime minister that doesn't look, you know, as they say in America, presidential, okay, versus a guy that does look presidential. Now, the people are going to pretty much be manipulated into voting for the guy that has the look and that talks the talk, because that was the guy that they're preordained to be in that position. Okay?
Yeah, like Donald Trump. He was the first president in American history with no political, no diplomatic or military experience.
Yeah.
Come on, you mean to tell me they didn't choose him?
They're chosen. And even if you look at what is it, Boris Johnson, you can look at that guy, you can tell he's a little bit of damn fool. He got voted in. There was a lot of people that didn't wanted him to be voted in, but he got voted in anyway. So that shows you right there that there's no democracy. All right, they just put that out there just to cloud the people, make them docile, and make them think that they have some leverage or power. But they have no power. The power is from on high. They call the shots. These men are bought and paid for. So if these prime ministers and presidents were bought and paid for, who you think they're the boss of? They're the boss of the men that have set them up. They're not. They don't serve the people. Word for them. Go on, brother.
And
So I don't cut you. So it's the same thing in the ancient. It's the same thing as it was in the ancient world. In the ancient world, you always had kings. You always had a feudal system, and that's what you have today. You have a feudal system. What matters and what goes is what the top says goes. Go on, brother.
Verse 6. And the Lord said, behold, the people is one, and they have all one language.
Yeah.
And this they begin to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do.
Right, which they have imagined to do. So the whole idea for Nimrod was to amalgamate every people together as a one nation. And guess what the Lord did? We're going to read some more. It's going, and then we're going to go back to it.
Verse 7. Go, let us go down and confound their language, that they may not understand another one's speech.
You going? Right, read it again.
Verse 7. Go, let us go down and there confound their language, that they may not understand one another's speech.
Right, so the angels were told by the Heavenly Father to go down there to confound the languages of the people. That's why people speak many different languages of today, because the Most High put that thing out there so that the nations don't come together and they separate, because that's not what the Lord wants. The Lord don't want all nations to come together. He wants everybody to be separate and have their own portion. You're going to get that in Deuteronomy 32. Let's read that.
Verse 8. So the Lord scattered them abroad from thence upon the face of all the earth, and they left off to build a city.
Right, so they were scattered. So one more, we're going to get two more precepts, and then we're going to close out. Give me Deuteronomy 32, and then we'll finish what we had before. And the reason why Esau is bringing everyone together, or he wants to do that, because it's more easier to control people that are together rather than being scattered. That's why they want to bring everybody together. It's not to bring peace, but it's so that they can have control.
This is Deuteronomy 32 and 8. When the Most High divided the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
It says that he has separated the sons of Adam, and he has given them their portion according to the portion of Israel. If I'm correct on that, brother.
Yeah.
You know? So the Lord is about putting everything in order in its proper perspective. You know what I mean? If you got amalgamation of nations together, that's confusion. Now you have different belief systems, you have different religions, you have different ways of thinking, and then therefore what's outshadowed is the truth. The Lord ain't dealing with that, man. So the Lord is going to establish the truth, which is what we teach on the face of the earth. And that's what everybody's going to follow by, man. So yeah. Okay, read that one precept, and then we're gonna read what he's got, and then we're gonna close out more.
Genesis 10 and 32. These are the families of the sons of Noah, after their generations, in their nations, and by these were the nations divided in the earth after the flood.
Right, there you have it. I don't have to explain that. Now you're finished with it.
Back to Habakkuk 2 and 6, and it says, shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself with the clay.
In other words, that astronomical debt that they have, which the word is batya, which means death.
Shall they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for goodies unto them?
In other words, spoil. We just read that as soon as they cease to spoil, they shall be spoiled. Let's read on.
And it says, because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that go therein. Woe to him that coveteth an evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil.
Right.
And it says, thou hast consulted shame to thy house by cutting off many people, and has sinned against thy soul.
And that's what the nations already see. They see that how America was established. And we all see that as well. The whole wide world knows the foolishness of America, how it was established. And this is why Esau has an ill name right now, because of all of the shit that he did. And it's now coming out of, now it's being pretty much exposed. Okay, so that's all we're going to bring to you, brothers. That we're going to give all praises and glory to Yahweh,
Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakam Kadash.
and we out. Shalom.
Shalom.
Brothers, line up.